Okay, I would like to start by saying thank you to all of you for coming tonight. We are here to share some really good information about nutrition and about living a healthy lifestyle. I'd like to first just outline what we're going to talk about tonight. So we will talk about our struggles that we all have with living a healthy lifestyle. We'll talk about our goals that we have. Where do we really want to be? What's our ideal self-image as far as health goes? And then we will go over the 5 pillars of health, which I've outlined on the board here. And then once we finish with that, we will talk about, or integrated into that, we'll talk about some solutions that we have for gaining a healthy lifestyle and meeting those goals that you're looking to meet. So first I'll just give a little bit of introduction on myself and why I'm here. Hi, my name is Teresa and I'm a yo-yo dieter. You're supposed to go, welcome Teresa. So it's true though, I have a history of being a yo-yo dieter. I would go on a diet, I would have some success, I would lose weight, and then after I lost the weight, I'd be off the diet and then go back to my normal eating habits, and then I would gain it all back again. And then I would be like, oh gosh, I really need to lose weight again. So I'd go on a diet again and lose weight and then gain it all back, plus more this time. And then it kept happening, and I would go on a diet and gain it all back, plus more, and plus more, and plus more. And so I think I've probably gone up about 40 pounds to the first time I went on a diet. How does that happen? And I got so fed up after a while. I was just like, you know what, forget it, I'm done. I love food. Food and I get along really well. I'm done with this dieting thing. I'm just going to be fat and miserable and call it life. But then I look at my 4 kids. I have 4 girls. And I don't want my 4 girls to look at me as the example of what not to do. I want them, to see me as the person that they want to be. And so I realized that I really have to find a different solution to this. I need to figure it out and help them figure it out. So that's when I actually, around that time is when I was introduced to a new style of eating and learned a whole bunch of new information, which we're going to share with you tonight, about not how to go on a diet, but how to live your life as a healthy person and make the choices that a healthy person would make rather than going on a diet and going off a diet, because that just doesn't work. So that's really what we're wanting to share with you today. So now I guess I'd like to go into what our struggles are. So I'm going to ask for some audience participation here. It's not too scary. So one of the things that I struggle with as far as being healthy is meal planning, not planning ahead. Is that one of the things that you guys struggle with?
I've had my moments.
Okay, so throw out other struggles that you guys have with eating healthy or with living a healthy lifestyle. Ideas?
Very sedentary job.
Sedentary job, yes.
Eating healthy takes a lot more pre-planning. You can grab a carb like in 5 seconds,
Yep.
but it's a lot more to pre-plan vegetables and fruits.
It is. It's work. I don't have time. I don't have time to exercise, working full time, plus having 4 children to run around different places that they want to go. No time. Anything else?
How about
Expensive.
eating out?
Eating out,
Eating
yes.
out challenges.
Yeah, what do we eat when we're eating out if we're supposed to eat only these certain things?
What cravings?
Oh, yes, cravings. Definitely cravings. What are some other things that people in general struggle with because of not living a healthy lifestyle, not eating healthy?
Emotional.
Yes. Emotional health, definitely you get those mood swings right along with the sugar cravings, pretty sure.
Self-esteem.
Self-esteem, yes. Tired, I think I spelled that wrong, oh well. Being tired, yes. How about all these people with diabetes and heart disease and, I'm just gonna write disease. I can't spell today, is it I?
That's right, with the I.
Dis-ease.
Dis-ease, yes, of course it is. Okay,
Pain.
pain, yes. Arthritis, joint pain, fibromyalgia, all these new things that are happening. I mean, fibromyalgia is new to me in the last 20 years, don't you think? It's not something we ever heard of before. So now that we've kind of written out what some of our struggles are, I'd like to just switch gears and go to what are our goals? What do we want to accomplish? What do we want to be like as a healthy person? So let's start throwing out those ideas. I'll make those orange.
More energy.
Energy. Can you see that? Okay. Energy. Okay. Energy.
Eliminate naps.
Huh? Eliminate naps.
I mean, really.
I like naps.
The day you go, oh, I didn't do that today.
And I didn't need one.
Yes.
Yeah, that would be good. How about a fit body? And then I think we can put a lot of these things on there, like no more cravings, good emotional health, good self-esteem, not tired, get rid of disease, get rid of pain. All those things we can add on there, what our goals are, not have those things. Energy to keep up with the kids, run around. Some other things that we can think of. I think that's enough. I think we've made our point. So the great news is, if you are struggling with some of these problems, and if you have some of these goals, then you're in the right place, because we have some solutions to those problems and have tools to help you achieve those goals. So just one more thing that I want to do before I bring our expert up here is just go over the 5 pillars of health and give just a brief description of what they are. So the first one is mindset, and I think we can all agree that it really does start with your mind. It's just tweaking your way of thinking just a little bit. For me, I kind of alluded to it already once, and it's about changing your mindset from being on a diet to being a healthy person. So I used to be on a diet, so I would go out to a restaurant and I would look at the list of food and say, oh, I can't have that because I'm on a diet. Where if you just change your way of thinking a little bit, I think, okay, I want to eat something that a healthy person would eat because I'm a healthy person. So I would be much more likely to choose the salad or something like that that's on the healthy side rather than the hamburger. It makes that decision so much easier when you have that right mindset. The next thing is the nervous system. It's good to make sure that your body is communicating well and all of your nerves are firing and telling, your brain's telling everything in your body what to do. That's really important, one of the key things. There's nutrition and hydration, kind of self-explanatory. Exercise, how much should you really get? There's so much information out there, and how do you make time? And then finally, we'll talk about toxin removals. And not just in your food. Eating organic is important, but also getting rid of toxins from the rest of your environment. You would be amazed by how much this one here has an effect on your body holding on to its weight. Toxins are the reason. So Tina will go through this in much more detail in just a minute. So I'm ready to introduce Dr. Christina Mickelson. She is a doctor of chiropractic, and she has a holistic, natural approach, homeopathic style of medicine. She focuses on healing the body, helping the body heal itself, and nutrition has become a passion for her. And she also is a busy mom of 3 young boys, 4 if you count her husband. And so she knows what all of us go through of having a busy lifestyle and trying to fit everything in. So with that, my dear sister, Dr. Christina Mickelson, come on up.
So yeah, as my wonderful sister, let's give her a hand. She did a great job. As she alluded to, this is really a passion of mine. It is really, really hard for me to watch people struggle and not meet their health goals, their wellness goals, and be in pain. And so, I mean, I'll do anything I can do to help somebody because I just want people to live the life they want to live. I want them to be able to chase the grandkids. I want them to, compete in events if they want to compete in events. I want them to, do the fun things in life. Say, someone has low back pain. They're like, I can't even ride my bike anymore, or knee pain, and it's like, well, God darn it, let's fix you so you can ride the bike. I mean, it's just simple things, really, but it's life, and if life isn't enjoyable, then, that doesn't help either. So I just want people to have a good life. So we're going to go through a whole bunch of stuff, and it's all going to intertwine on how to be healthy and just lifestyle, because it's not like, okay, you have, if your brain's healthy and that's the only thing that's healthy, you're good to go, right? Or if this arm is healthy, we're good. No, I mean, it doesn't work that way. Health is whole body health. You don't have health unless you have the whole thing. So that's what we're wanting to work on, and that's how, it encompasses so many different things, and we'll just talk about them kind of one by one. Now, I'm totally good with this being interactive. If anybody has any questions, feel free to interrupt me, and we'll go into questions, and I'll ask her, I'll answer whatever I can on the spot. I don't know if I'll be able to answer everything, but usually pretty good. I will, thank you. So, as Teresa started with mindset, it really is key for, having that thought process of, I'm a healthy person, so what does a healthy person do? Because otherwise, on that diet, you're just constantly feeling, well, I can't have that, and I can't have that, and you're just always deprived, and that doesn't help mindset at all, right? So it helps get you in control, and it helps minimize negativity and stress. Anybody have stress? So the more we feel like we're in control versus something else is controlling us, that is going to be beneficial for making sure that we get our goals done and have our good mindset about it. Because if we have, there's always those days where you just, things just don't go right, and you're just kind of like, well, today's shot, right? Anybody ever have those days? So another thing that's really key for mindset, and I'll probably bring this up again at some other point, but having an accountability partner, someone that, when you're having a bad day, someone that, you've kind of given permission to say, you know what, if you need to put it in my face that, yeah, you ate the wrong thing, or you didn't exercise, or you didn't do this, or whatever, say, you know what, okay, cross line in the sand, it's a new day, it's a new hour, and we'll just keep moving forward. So having some sort of accountability partner, it increases our success huge, all right? Having more than one accountability partner, having 2 or 3, increases it from like 50% up to 70 or 80%. So having a small group, which is one thing that we offer with the system that we have, is we have a Facebook group that is a private group that we're all there encouraging each other and putting recipes out, and you can put out a yay, I did my weigh in, and I'm down some inches or whatever, or I worked out every day this week, whatever it is, if you need a pat on the back because you did something good, go ahead and post it, and you'll have a whole bunch of people saying, great job. We actually had, on a different group that I'm on, we had a guy, he's been doing a TOPS program. We actually had this called TOPS at one point, and we changed it to HELP. But, you know, with his TOP program, he's over in Wisconsin, and he was he lost the most weight out of his group. So he was super proud of that, and he had a certificate, and so we were all encouraging him, and that was awesome. So, you know, whether your goal is increasing muscle tone, decreasing fat, just maintaining where you're at, you know, whatever your goals are, you want to write that down and, you know, share it with a few people so that you have somebody then that can help keep you accountable. So the good thing and the bad thing is wherever we're at right now, it's pretty much up to us, right? Wherever we're at now, we're there because of the decisions we've made and the lifestyle we've kept up until now. There is a little bit of genetic predisposition in there. However, looking at all the research out there, if you like research, just look up epigenetics. There's a ton of stuff out there, and it's kind of the new buzzword in the science community as far as research goes in genetics. And ultimately, there is precursor things. You know, when I was forming in my mother's stomach, when I was, hey Amy, you know, when I was being developed as a fetus, her nutrition that she had in her body that she was able to give me helped me get started, right? And the egg that I came from was developed when she was in her mother's womb. Does that make sense? So there is a little bit of genetics going on down the line. However, we're finding out with the epigenetics, lifestyle plays a huge, huge, huge key of whether or not different genes, whether they're disease genes or cancer genes or diabetes genes or whatever they are, your lifestyle plays a huge part on whether or not those genes turn on or if they stay turned off. So we are in control, and we can make a difference, and, you know, through the rest of it, we'll show you that, you know, there's a way. It doesn't have to be really difficult. It doesn't have to be super time consuming, and we can still make where we're at. So the good thing and the bad thing is you're where you're at because of what you've done in the past, but sometimes that's misinformation and non-information. So if you just didn't know, you didn't know. So we'll give you, ta-da!
I just thought of something that I forgot to say.
What's that?
If you think about the information that we've been told for years,
Right.
we're told that, you know, you should eat 12 servings of grains. Back on the old food pyramid days, and at least they've gotten better now and have switched that up to my plate. But still, it's way off. You shouldn't eat half of your food grains. It should be half vegetables and fruits, and, you know, just a little bit of the grains. So we've been given bad information ever since the government got involved in explaining what we should eat.
That's really, really interesting that you bring that up, because today, Amy, did you want to add?
Well, isn't the grains that they talked about back then completely different than the grains that we're eating today?
That is true.
They were real grains, and so eating them would have provided
Yes.
different health benefits.
That's very true. Yeah.
Yeah. So, anybody watch the movie Fed Up? Okay, so one. All right. You did too? Yeah. So anyways, I've been intending to watch it, and I finally actually watched part of it today. And something that was really, really interesting that was a little bit subtle in it, but I picked up on it, and me and my kids, I homeschool my kids, and so we had a good conversation about it this morning. But when Michelle Obama, and you can attest to this with your kids going through the school, she was huge on, we gotta change the food, we gotta get more vegetables in there, we gotta get more fruits in there, we gotta have better foods, less fat, blah, blah, blah. And all of a sudden, as she was talking, well, we're not trying to demonize all these different companies out there. We're not trying to demonize the food. We really need to get up and start moving more. So I think Michelle Obama got bought off. Because all of a sudden she quit attacking companies and said, well, we just need to move more. And I'm like, really? That's amazing. So, yeah, I was just shaking my head too. I'm like, guys, did you catch that? All of a sudden she changed what she was talking about. But, you know, the food and when I talk about nutrition, that's, talk a little bit more about how do you make the right food choices. But it's just amazing how we've been set up. So having that misinformation, you know, if you didn't know, you didn't know. So I'm here to just help people know the things that aren't being told out there, because, you know, the big companies are constantly telling you lies, and they're feeding our kids lies, and it's just frustrating. I'm so glad we don't have TV anymore, so not so many of those commercials and stuff, so we're not begging for much of that. So the other thing is, raise your hand if you think that we are not healthy due to a lack of medication in this country. Right? Does medication heal us? No. No, we're not. We're having the medication because of the lifestyle and the changes that have happened to our food. So medication is not fixing us, and part of going through this and getting people healthier, we help people get off medication, which is so, so good. Oh, and I wanted to say one more thing. Oh, shoot, I can take it out. 1 second. Okay. So I was just going to say, if you're someone who needs that boost of energy and a little bit more happiness in your life to help you with that mindset, our new power packs are awesome. So it's B vitamins and acetylcysteine. It's an active form of the B vitamins too. So there's a lot of different people out there now. I don't know if it's a food thing or exactly why it's changed, but there's a lot of people out there that cannot convert the B vitamins to their active form. So most of in your food and in supplements that you take, the B vitamins are in an inactive form, and your body has to do a couple of different chemical reactions in order to change it to the active form, and then you boost your energy, because it takes the B vitamins help you digest the food and break down the carbohydrates or the fat or the protein that you're eating into energy. And so if your B vitamins aren't working, your energy is going to be low, right? So if you need a little more energy, the B vitamins, they're the active form, so they actually work right away without, even if your body has that issue, which is really cool. And it's speculated that it might be 50% of people that have that issue, and I did not know it was nearly that high.
I thought they said 15. Wow.
Dr. Emick, I talked with him after the fact, and he was like, I was being conservative because he wanted to make sure that, you know, he had his bases covered. And other people that were out there like, there, you know it's not that low. Why'd you say that? You know, and he's like, So he was conservative in his numbers. Now, it might not be 50%, but it's definitely more than 15, and a lot of other doctors and people in the field are speculating that it's somewhere near that 50% or possibly even higher.
I read another doctor's report, and he was saying it was
49%. Okay.
Just this last week.
So half of us in the room potentially have that problem.
Right.
Wow.
Yep. So, and we wonder why we don't have energy, because our body's not working right. Which leads me into the next topic of the nervous system, because that is key for your body to work right. Okay? So part of being healthy is we need everything to work, right? If our stomach is not digesting the food, if our small intestine is not absorbing the food, if our heart is not pumping right, if our brain isn't working right, okay, how are we going to be healthy? Okay? It's the whole body, right? So the brain obviously controls everything. It's intelligent design. There's a reason why it is that way. And, you know, anybody ever wake up and they're like, my neck's kind of sore, right? Okay. Well, stiffness and soreness is the first sign that there's damage. Okay? So if you wake up that way, you want to get it looked at. You know, whether it be, you know, your knee or your low back or whatever, that's something you want to do. So let's take, for example, middle back, okay? T6, nerve from there goes to the stomach. If there's something interfering, say the spine's out of alignment, there's something between the spine and the stomach. That nerve's going to the stomach, telling the stomach when to produce acid, when not to produce acid. Okay? If that's not working right, are you gonna digest your food right? No. Okay? So spine is really, really important on how your body works. Let me get a little bit more into one more idea here about how that works.
You want a picture?
Yeah, I'm like, I don't want to erase anything more.
Yeah, it's okay. We're gonna get rid of our struggles.
Yeah. I like
Isn't that easy? You feel better now?
Yay!
Ah, so much better.
Alright,
Oh, here, you want a different color? You pick it.
I'll do black.
Okay.
It's a new color. Alright, so I'm gonna go this way. So there's two systems within the nervous system, okay? So there's the fight or flight system, which is, in caveman days, you're walking along, you're, gathering some, berries and some nuts, and all of a sudden a tiger shows up, okay? So your body goes, adrenaline goes up, right? And you're like, either you're gonna fight that tiger, or you're gonna, take your, bow and arrow or whatever, or you're gonna run as fast as you can, right? So that's the stress response. Now today, we don't run up to tigers a whole lot, but we have deadlines. We've got to get our kids here. We've got to get dinner done. We've got to make sure we make it to our meeting. We've got to make sure we have all of our stuff prepped done for our meeting. I mean, we're on that stress all the time, okay? So what happens when that stress is going on all the time in our body, okay? And this whole system here is all in the middle back. So it's, from your upper back down to here, okay? So if there's any issues there, that's going to affect this system. So you're going to have an increased heart rate. You're going to have increased cholesterol. You're going to have increased blood pressure.
Adrenal fatigue.
Right, yeah, when you're pushing, your adrenals are pumping out these hormones. That's what they do. And so if they're pumping hormones, and you don't get a break, then you're gonna end up in that adrenal fatigue. You also increase blood sugar. All right. So what are a majority of our issues in chronic disease right now? Has a lot to do with all these, right?
Yeah.
Right. So we need to fix that part of the spine, and also, a little bit of mindset and a little bit of, meditation's never a bad thing. Gotta have times where we slow down and just let that happen. The other thing, we're decreasing digestion. And we're decreasing the immune, I didn't write that. That's two M's anyway. Okay, so our immune system goes down. So we're getting sick because we're constantly doing this. And, when you're running away from the tiger, you really don't need to worry about digesting the food that you just ate, right? So this definitely explains a lot of things. So the neck and the sacrum area, the extra low back, that's where the parasympathetic is, okay? So this is the sympathetic. The parasympathetic is the rest, digest, and repair. Who wants that system working more? All right? So basically it does the opposite of all of these. And
What percentage of time do you think people spend in this fight or flight state?
we are spending probably 70% of our time here. Yeah. So, and a lot of people have this to the point where they have issues sleeping on top of it, you know. So when you calm down enough to actually get sleeping, that's when these reverse and the parasympathetic start going. Any questions on those? Okay, is the spine really important and the nervous system really important? Okay, thank you. All right. Now, that doesn't mean that nutrition and hydration is not important, but this is like order of importance, kind of, okay? All right, so, quote, I don't remember who said this, so I certainly didn't, but I really, really liked it, so I'm going to repeat it for you guys. So when diet is wrong, medicine is of no use. And when diet is correct, medicine is of no need. So I really like that one. That is good. So, so the key thing here on nutrition is there's a balance of everything. And, you know, a lot of people, you know, the old adage, you know, kind of like the whole food pyramid system that we started with, you know, is calories in, calories out. You know, you just got to burn off more calories than you put in. So that means I can eat Twinkies all day. I can have 1,500 calories of Twinkies, and I'm good, right? No. I would be starving because I did not give myself any nutrition. When you give yourself empty calories, all you are is hungry. All right? So when you give yourself the right calories, then you're not hungry, you don't have the cravings, you don't have that hormone roller coaster going on, and everything is working better. So the whole calories in, calories out doesn't work. You can't outrun the fork. Now here in America, do we know what the American diet's called? Standard American Diet, SAD, sad. It is sad, it is really sad. And the standard American diet is something called acidic, all right? Our bodies are pH balanced. You hear that a little bit, you know, on TV and that. Anybody not know anything about pH? I mean, we've all at least heard the term before, right? Okay. So if you think about your body being a pool, if your pool or your hot tub, if the pH gets out of balance, what happens?
It's green.
Gets green, gets slimy, gets scaly, you know, different things happen. It's not right, okay? Same things happen inside the body, all right? When we're not eating the right things, when our body's acidic, it starts breaking down inside to keep the blood at the right pH. So your blood needs to be at 7.365. And that's kind of easy to remember because 7 days a week, 365 days a year, it's got to be there. All right? So your body will do anything it can to keep your blood there. So if you're eating Twinkies all day and you're not getting the right nutrition, your body's got to counteract that. So things that we use to counteract that are calcium, magnesium, and potassium. So where do you think it's going to pull calcium from in order to counteract the Twinkies? Your bones. And we wonder why we have osteoporosis in this country. So we can fix it. It's okay. We just got to know better. And so the acidic diet, we're constantly breaking ourselves down in order to stay alive. Okay? Your body's ultimate goal is to stay alive. And when it's broken down enough that it can't stay alive anymore, then, you know, we know what happens. And we don't like to go there. And I don't like my patients to go there.
No.
So, no, I don't. So, food, we eat it, goes in the stomach digests it. From there, it goes in the blood. From the blood, it goes to the body. So everything goes in the blood. Generally, from the blood, it goes to the liver. And then the liver divvies everything out. So the blood and the liver are the two things that really we notice problems with first. And that's what we want to make sure that we're putting the right things in, and we have that taken care of. So the acid.
If the blood's not giving the right nutrients, then that part of blood would be tired or filled because you're sad
Yeah, because it affects, if you're not pulling in the right things, you can't make the right hormones. If you're not, having the right fats, I mean, the hormones, the cholesterol, they all come from the fats. And that, you need the good fats. So,
So that's like our first line, if we're tired and all that, imbalance, our blood is not.
right, definitely. Yep, so the key to getting the blood healthy is making sure you have high levels of enzymes and high levels of minerals. So, and pH balance. So those are the three major things. The other thing, just real quick, that the acid diet does, other than the osteoporosis, is it causes problems in our muscles, muscle cramps, and not being flexible. Acid in the skin is, like eczema, acne, yeast issues, athlete foot. Those are all things of an acidic diet. Okay, and so getting the body alkaline, getting it up towards this, then it helps the body heal. Okay, our bodies are designed to run on alkaline food. So what is alkaline food, right? Anybody have any examples of alkaline food? Yes?
I drink lemon water.
Lemon water is awesome. So you think lemons are acidic, so you would think that would bring you down, but with the body, it helps the body become more alkaline. So citrus is awesome. Good. So having lemon water around, I did not throw any lemon in mine, but I will do that often, and it's tasty. It's nice. Another thing to do, just water-wise, that just popped into my brain, is doing some mint in the water and let your water infuse with mint. Sometimes you can throw some cucumber in there too. It can be a nice flavorful water to have a nice, good hydrating drink when you're thirsty, and that will help the water to become alkaline as well. Since we're on the water topic, so I've been doing a lot of water testing lately because after doing some research, I was like, I haven't tested my own water. So I tested my own tap water. I live in the country, so I have a well. And my own tap water, now your water is generally what this is based off of, and water should be like 7.0, okay, just pure water. And so my tap water was like 6.2. So that's definitely in the wrong direction where I don't want to go. And so I have a Brita pitcher or something like that. And so I ran through that, and then I tested it again, and it was like 6.8. I'm like, okay, actually doing something. That was good. I really want to get a whole house filter, and I've been looking at different ones, or at least a good and alkalizing water system. But I just don't have that yet. So that's on the agenda of something to get. But then you can have alkaline water all the time. And one of the doctors that I was watching here recently, he was saying that you should be drinking water at a pH of 9 if you're healthy. If you're not healthy, you should be drinking water at a pH of 11. Wow. To help really bring the body out of that acid state and get it alkaline. So I thought that was really, really powerful. It's just the water, how much a role that plays. My husband got a Keurig for Christmas, and I know that they tend to get minerally, and they tend to, not run good after a while. So I was thinking, okay, so the tap water probably has more minerals. I'll get some bottled water from Target. So it's just the regular drinking water. So I tested that. It was like a 5.5. It's like, really?
Wow.
Yeah. So I was like, water is really key. I mean, that's one thing. We're all drinking more water, right? Because we know more water is good. Well, if you're drinking water at a pH of 5.5, you almost might as well be drinking a Coke. Which, I mean, that's a 3, but still, I mean, there's a huge range there. All of these too, just to let you know, from a 7 to a 6, that's 10 times more acidic. Okay? From a 6 to a 5, it's 100 times more acidic than 7. You drop down to a 4, it's 1,000 times more acidic. So, I mean, each level you drop, it's huge. And you got to think about how much, just one can of Coke, how much, if you're drinking something at, say 7.5, how much of that is it going to take to just do one can of Coke? It's way over here. I mean, gallons, and you can't take too many at once because too much water at one time is what? Drowning. So, you can't just chug, right? So, you know, you definitely have to really think about that. And sometimes that's where knowledge is power, because I don't know if it's just the knowledge, but, or if I've just changed my taste buds so much, but I used to be a Dr. Pepper addict. I loved my Dr. Pepper. I didn't care about the sugar, I didn't care about the caffeine, I liked the taste of it. And if I had too many, then I'd get, you know, really squirrely. I couldn't stand still. And that was kind of fun, but that's not why I drink it. I just like the taste. I thought. I think it was more of an addiction thing. You know, sugar is, I forget what it is, but it's more addictive than heroin. And, you know, we're fed it constantly. So watching out for the sugar, when you start looking for labels, that can be hard. And ultimately what we're going to talk about is eating more things that have no labels. So that's real food. And real food is what we want to do. Where was I going with that? I took a
Top-line foods.
outline foods. I was going to say something else, but anyways. So water is super, super important. And what we have, if you don't have, you know, $2,000 for, you know, water system, the other thing that we have is we have our wonderful neutralizers. Calcium, magnesium, potassium, pH 9.5, and that will get your water to the right level and not, so it's not acidic anymore. So that's one thing that will help you out a whole bunch, because when our bodies are acidic, and we'll get into toxic, but when there's toxins in the body, your filtration system can only do so much. And when your body's acidic, that means you're toxic, and your body tries to protect you from that as much as possible. So what it's going to do is it's going to hide the toxins in a layer of fat and wall it off from you and protect it. Okay? So fat's good, but how about we get rid of the toxins and then you don't need the fat either? So when you detoxify yourself, the body will release that, and then it'll just be working like it should. So the alkaline diet, vegetables, lots of vegetables. Vegetables at every meal. Eggs in the morning with vegetables. Or we have really great shakes. So shakes aren't so much vegetables, but we at my house like to add vegetables to our shakes. And that is a really great way to add in more vegetables, because who really gets 9 to 11 servings of green leafy vegetables, not even just vegetables, but green leafy vegetables every day, which is now the recommendation. Does anybody know why the recommendation is so high?
Food quality.
Because of the food quality. We've depleted the soil of the minerals. If you take an apple today versus an apple at 1950, to get the same mineral content of the apple from 1950, it's like 18 apples or something. It's ridiculous. So they have less minerals, higher sugar content. So an apple's still better than applesauce, which is still way better than apple juice. It's still real food. But unfortunately, our real food doesn't have the minerals it used to have. And so we need to supplement. And medical doctors are now forced to tell you, you need to take a supplement, which is great, other than the fact that they know nothing about nutrition and they don't know a good supplement from a bad supplement. And most of them out there are not good, unfortunately. So, you know, it'd be a lot of your things that, you know, you take one a day of or something like that, you might as well just take one, you know, say a penny or a dime, and, you know, because it makes it all the way through, right? Well, your one a day's kinds of things make it all the way through too. So it really doesn't do you any good. When they clean out porta potties, they find all sorts of things, and they can still read the name of what bottle it came out of. So, which is just crazy. So we're designed to run on food, but we need to do some supplementing as well. So besides vegetables, low sugar fruit is good. They have more fiber. They don't spike blood sugar so much. So your berries, your melons, those kinds of things. Oily fish. So, you know, your mackerels, your salmons, things like that. Fish you want to do wild caught, because unfortunately farm raised sounds so cool. It sounds like you're, you know, not out fishing the oceans and you're saving the fish, right? Well, guess what they feed the fish in they farm raise them. They feed them corn.
Oh, Joe.
Last time I checked, I never saw any corn growing in a stream or in the ocean. Not their normal diet. So the salmon that are farm raised, they have to inject them with food dye coloring in order to make them actually look like salmon, otherwise they're white. Gross. So stay away from the farm raised, okay? And so wild caught better, meats like venison and pheasant and grouse, things like that, out of a natural habitat. Those are really good meats as well. They're very lean and have the different nutrients because they scavenge. They chew on the things that they're supposed to. They go for the nuts and the seeds and whatever. They're not fed a pre-fat diet, out of a bag that again has a lot of GMO and a lot of corn and a lot of soy and stuff that they normally wouldn't eat. But when it's in front of them, they'll eat it. So your nuts and your seeds are other things that are on the definite to-do list. The healthy fats are what your body makes. Okay, let's talk about cholesterol for a second. Is cholesterol good or is cholesterol bad? Both. Good. Right. So I would agree with both of you. It's good because cholesterol is there protecting you. Okay? It's there patching things up and trying to heal the body. But when we're patching, and we don't actually have time to finish the repair because we're not eating the right things and we don't have the right lifestyle, that's when it's bad, when it builds up and we're not, it's a sign that your body's in trouble, is what it is. So do we fix anything if we take a pill that lowers our cholesterol? No, because we're still trying to patch stuff if we didn't change anything. So that's not the answer of what you want to do. You don't want to just take a cholesterol pill to lower your cholesterol. Your body is in a state of stress. There's a reason why these things are high. Okay? It's a normal response of what the body is trained to do. So you need to get your body out of this, give it the right things, and those things will all normalize. So, I think I was going to talk about this a little bit more as far as the veggies go here. We're not the only company that has greens by any means at all, and I have one sample I've been left to get, and I'm going to do a big test, and I'll be posting it, so I'm sure everybody will share it. But most of the items that are out on the market have been cooked. And what happens to your nutrient content when it's cooked? It goes way down, right? They're supposed to eat as much as we can raw. And these are not heat treated so that when you add them to water or add them to a shake, you have the live enzymes, which is, the raw foods, we're getting enzymes. Every process in the body takes enzymes to make it happen. So the digestion in your stomach, the filtration of your liver, getting your muscles, the glucose getting in there, everything takes enzymes. And there's about 2,000 different enzymes in the body. You add them all up, and it's about 2 to 3 pounds of enzymes in your body. And this actually has, if you break it all down with the ingredients that we have in here, because it's so varied, and it's many, many, many different kinds, that's how you get all the different enzymes. So this feeds the whole entire body, which is really, really cool, because those of us that are having a lot of salads and a lot of green leafies and throwing kale and spinach and stuff in the blender, you're getting, your kale, your spinach, maybe a couple other green leafies, some broccoli, maybe some green beans, maybe some peas. Once you get about to 10, you're kind of maxed out on the green stuff. Here we've got like 90. Okay, huge variety makes for better for the whole body, making sure that you get everything you need. So that's one thing that's really cool about that. So the benefits of eating the right things, right? So we're going to have less disease, less illness. We're going to have a normalized weight because we're not putting extra toxins in. How about some more energy? Energy. How about pretty hair and nails? Tell us about your hair.
Oh, yeah. The last time I went to my hairstylist to get a cut, she goes, I'm really jealous of your hair right now. How did you get thicker hair? What are you doing? What kind of shampoo are you using? I'm like, I haven't changed my shampoo. It's the nutrition products that I've been taking and eating. So my hair actually feels thicker to me. And my nails grow faster, which is good because we're remodeling and I break them off about every other day.
So yeah, so you get the glowing skin, you know, anybody ever jealous of somebody like, gosh, their skin looks so awesome. So that can be you. And youth, you know, just that younger appearance, you know, not having all those fine lines. When you hydrate the cells, and we have some other things too, supplement-wise, that are amazing for improving that youth look and repairing down to the cellular level. Crow's feet goes away, and you know, fine lines and wrinkle goes away. You just, everything, you know, because when you're younger, you just have that plump. All the cells are just nice and round, and they're not shriveled. Okay, so it's just really cool. And who's, you know, anybody have trouble sleeping? Yeah. Okay. So sleeping better, that helps you repair more too. All right. So we talked a little bit about problems on how to do that, and in a little bit, I'll get to the system part of what we have and how we can help you do that as having more of these alkaline foods. How do we get them all in and not spend, you know, all day in the kitchen, right? So I'll come back to that. So how about exercise? How much do we need? Who's been told something? Throw a few things out. Yes.
30 minutes a day.
30 minutes a day. Very good. Anybody else? Something?
30 minutes 3 times a week.
30 minutes 3 times a week.
3 hours a week.
3 hours a week. So those are really close. So that ultimately, if you don't work out at all, start at like 10 minutes a day. Something, you know. Do, you know, try to, you know, maybe do a deep knee walk, you know. If you can't do that, sit in the chair and, you know, extend your leg out, put your arms out, you know, some sort of moving. Everybody can move, everybody can exercise something. And even, you know, when you're sitting at the desk and have that sedentary job, you know, you get a couple of breaks, or, you know, you can take a, you know, a 30-second breather and just, you know, grab your water bottle and, you know, just do a curl. Okay, one thing, this is not the proper way to do a curl. Okay, if you're gonna do a curl, you wanna go up like this, okay? This is very, very hard on the elbow. Elbow doesn't like that. This is much safer movement, so FYI. I need to learn more of those, but there's good ways to work out and not as good of ways to work out. But ultimately, we need to move, and the amount of time we want to do is about 3 hours a week. You get the most bang for your buck at 3 hours a week. When you work out for 2 hours a week, you get, say, about 50% of the benefits that you get if you just step it up 1 more hour for the whole week. So that 30 minutes a day, taking Sundays off, 30 minutes a day isn't that much. This is a place I struggle with, so I understand. I have my clogging that I go to on Wednesdays, and that's one of my guaranteed exercises, and I chase my boys, so I hardly ever sit, I'm always moving around. But out of that 3 hours, you want to have about 70% of that time if you want it to be cardio, so pumping the blood, getting the heart rate up, and the other percent, the other 30, you want to do, you know, some resistance. So you want to build muscle, because as we get older, the muscle starts to deplete and it starts to go away. So we need to make sure that we're combating that, because what does muscle do for us? It burns calories. Burns calories and makes us look nice. So we're burning more calories. That's a good day. So in the system we have a sample too of, you know, how to space your workout and where to spend your time on different things. So that's kind of nice to make it super easy. So the nutrition and the exercise, about doubles your results. So doing just one or the other, you know, you're doing something good, but if you do them both, you're maximizing a lot. All right, any other questions on the nutrition? Anybody has any burning questions? All right, so detox, toxin removal. So I just heard a statistic that kids growing up now versus kids that grew up in the 70s have a 500 times more toxic load than people in the 70s did. That's how many more chemicals are around. No wonder why we're toxic. We have a good detoxification system. The trouble is we're meant for detoxification 100 years ago. You know, it's only the last 100 years that we've changed everything. Well, maybe a little bit more now, but anyways. So things that we can do, number one, is we want to minimize our exposure. So where are we coming into toxins? Just shout a few out.
Cleaning products.
What's that?
Cleaning products.
Cleaning products, absolutely. You know, the dish soap, dishwasher detergent, you know, your whatever you use for mopping the floor. Anybody like to use bleach? Okay, bleach unfortunately is pretty toxic. So the chlorine vapors that come out of there, really bad for you. So those that live in the city, what's in the water? Chlorine, chloramide. They have like 3 forms of chlorine basically in there. And then they add some other stuff on top of it to try to minimize the microbes and parasites and other things in the water. So I mean, you don't really want those either, but the thing with chlorine is it forms a gas at about 85 degrees. So who takes a shower that's probably warmer than 85 degrees? That would be me. So if you live in town, you're inhaling and you know your body is absorbing all that. So doing a shower filter or a whole house filter, getting that chlorine out is a huge, huge idea if you live in the city. So the average woman puts minimum of 100 chemicals on before she walks out the door. So cosmetics is a huge one. So that's one place that, you know, finding cosmetics that are organic in nature or natural. And when your skin's glowing and you're vibrant and youthful, you tend not to use as much because you don't need as much, right? Where was I going?
Shampoo and
Yes,
products.
the personal
deodorants.
products, absolutely. So there's a lot of different natural products out there. If you get your deodorant from a store, you know, that maybe has a mart at the end of it or something like that, that has a minimum of 3 things in there that are known to have carcinogenic effects. So who finds it frustrating that you think you go to the store, you would get something safe, and it's not? Yeah. Laundry detergent's another one. Fabric softener is probably one of the worst things out there that you can do anything with. And what do you do with fabric softener? Put it on your clothes, and on your sheets, and on your towels. And what are you bathing yourself in all day, every day? Your clothes, or your sheets, or your towels. I mean, I don't know about you, but it's kind of frowned upon to run around naked everywhere. I mean, maybe in some places, but you know, having fabric softener that isn't toxic to you and causing chemicals. So, you know, we have a full line anyway of the deodorants, the shampoo, body soap, you know, soap for cleaning, and laundry detergent, fabric softener. You know, that's all there. If you want to ask questions on that later, absolutely. But I don't need to. There's obviously other things out there that are great too. We're not the only company that's detoxifying you, but you know, we're into that. So you know, it's nice to have that available for people as well. So here's another one, the doctor of the future. So this is from Hippocrates, from way back, right? Is let food be thy medicine, and let medicine be thy food. Another cool quote, I know. So one way to help the body get rid of some of the stuff that has started and that's built up over time to boost your body's ability to detox and cleanse is to do a 2-day cleanse. And what we do for that, excuse me. So we've got chocolate vanilla shake. So a couple of those. Greens, neutralizer. So fiber helps pull things out as well. So anybody know that there's more goodies in the shell or the hull of the flax than actually the flax seed? So that's kind of cool. So much more powerful here. Flax is good too, but this is like, you know, the shell has a lot more nutrients. So doing a cleanse with pure greens, you're getting lots of green leafies, you're getting lots of enzymes. You add this, you get your minerals. And when your body has the enzymes and the minerals, it's getting to an alkaline state. Everything that we have helps bring you towards that alkaline, helps get you up here. When your body feels safe, then it will start to release stuff. And until then, it's gonna hang on for dear life. So if you're doing a weight loss program or doing something to lose weight and you're not doing some cleansing, you're getting rid of some fat, but that toxin is still there. So that's part of the whole thing with the yo-yo diet is because when you're increasing your toxicity, your body's not liking that. So it wants that fat back in there to protect it, okay? Because it's already working overtime on trying to clear out everything it can. So also during the cleanse gives the digestive system a break because anybody have digestion problems? Right. So, antibiotics and the food, traditional food, especially wheat, corn, soy, canola, are GMO products. One thing, there's multiple reasons why they're not good for you, but one reason why they're not good for you, let's take wheat for instance. Before they harvest the wheat, about 10 days before they harvest it, they spray it with Roundup, like heavy doses of Roundup to kill the whole plant. Because it's easier on the equipment and then they don't have to go through a drying process before they process it. So, and that, doesn't have time to escape out of the plant. So you have a lot more of that. Well, that acts like an antibiotic in the body, so it's killing the gut bacteria and it's causing people to have leaky gut. So it's not only the antibiotics, but having the food that has been contaminated with the Roundup. It's glyphosate is the main chemical that's bad, and so this helps repair that system. So there's some other things that you can do too, increasing more probiotics as well. This is a great probiotic, but if you really have leaky gut, increasing it even more than what we have is definitely a good idea.
What if we have the opposite problem?
What opposite problem?
Not leaky gut. Constipation.
Right. Well, leaky gut has nothing to do with constipation. Leaky gut means that the process and the enzymes and the good bacteria that's inside that's breaking down the food, it also lines the intestinal wall. So when that lining of the intestinal wall gets little holes breaking into it, then undigested food can get into the bloodstream. And that's part of where a lot of the allergies and, anybody notice that peanut allergies is like way high than it used to be 20 years ago?
Yeah.
When we went to school, there was like hardly a person to be found that had a peanut allergy. Now they have, schools probably multiple have, rooms that are peanut-free rooms because the kids can't even breathe this stuff. They can't be around it at all. And it's just from them messing with the food and messing with the GI tract. You heal that GI tract, you get that, so the wall has all of the good bacteria and it's fully healed, it doesn't have the gaping holes in it, then all that stuff doesn't get in, and your body processes it the way that it's supposed to. So, but doing this helps with whether you have constipation or diarrhea issues. It helps normalize the system. Okay, so one thing that we have today is this booklet that's really, really nice. And I'll go through a little bit of what it has in it, and then we'll talk a little bit more about the full system that we have available. And so at the beginning, you have, show where you're getting started. Take a picture, take measurements. Sometimes when you get on a long journey, you kind of forget where you started. So oftentimes as different aches and pains and different nuisance, annoyance things go away, we forget that they were even there. So sometimes if you write down where you started, especially on those days where that mindset isn't quite there, and you're just like, oh, dang it, I've been working so hard and I'm not seeing results. Well, if you look back here, you'll be like, oh, that's right. I was having headaches like 3 times a week. I haven't had a headache in a couple weeks, So some of those things you just don't always think about. So it's good to write those down. That and, taking a picture, doing it like in the same outfit, so that way you can see how it changes as your body changes and normalizes. So getting started, having some goals, write down some goals. What are the goals that you want as a certain number of pounds. And the other thing is a clear defined goal. Because a lot of people are like, I want to lose like 10 pounds. It's like, okay, well you want to lose 10 pounds or whatever the number it is, it doesn't matter. It's your number, it's what you want. But it's like, well, by when? Well, I don't know. I just want to lose 10 pounds. So it's hard to have a goal that you're working for if you don't really have it fully figured out of what you need to do. Because you need to have an end in sight. So, I want to be 10 pounds lighter, within the next 2 months. I actually talked to somebody not too long ago. She wanted to drop 50 pounds in 2 months. And I'm like, okay, I'm not sure that's realistic. But if you really want to do that, these are the things you need to do. And I'm just like, the whole 80-20 rule, 80 good, maybe 20 not so good. Okay, anybody perfect out there? No. Yeah, no. Nobody's perfect. So when you have an active disease or an active goal that you're going for, you might not want to do 80-20. You might want to do 90-10. If you're somebody who has cancer, you might want to do, 98-2. All right? Because your body's sick and really needs help. But when you get to where you're maintaining, you're doing good, that 80-20, nobody's perfect. Nobody has to be perfect. We want to live life. Part of life is experiencing food and, celebrations and birthday cake. Birthday cake's okay. You just can't have birthday cake every day.
Healthy people eat cake.
Right. Healthy people eat cake. Skinny people eat cake. So having a goal. Submitting your story with the Feel Good Challenge that enters you into prizes. So who likes to win prizes? All right. So, we'll do the name of. So, alkaline diet. Ideas kind of go over more of what I talked about on what alkaline diet is. Food list. Basically one thing from this column, one thing from this column, one thing from this column. You see there's more than 3 things on there, right? You can eat more than 2 or 3 things. There's a big list, you can vary it. Like I said, we do recipes and stuff like that too. So we have a lot of fun. And then of course the fats, the avocado, the coconut oil, so healing. Almonds, salmon, walnuts, pumpkin seeds, those are all really, really good things. You want to make sure that you're getting those. And of course the no-no list. This is, when we have a good goal, these are okay on the 20 once in a while. And then how much should I really eat? Should I be eating more? Should I be eating less? Should I be eating 1,200 calories? Should I be eating 1,800 calories? That'll answer some questions there. How about eating out? What's our kinds of tips and things that you can do when you're eating out so that you're not wrecking everything that you did the last week, right? So forward progress is good. Talks a little bit more about the 2-day cleanse, how to go through that. Some sample meal plans of breakfast do this, snack, lunch, snack, dinner, snack. Who knows that you want to eat multiple times a day, right? So what happens when you're sleeping, most of us, unless you're sleep eating, aren't eating while we're sleeping, right? So your body kind of goes into a starvation mode overnight. So the first thing you do when you get up is you want to give it something to turn that metabolism on. Because when you eat, your metabolism goes up. When you don't eat, your metabolism goes down. Okay? Who wants a bigger metabolism? So you want to eat more often. So smaller portions, more often, and that boosts your metabolism so that you can burn more calories on a daily basis. And add in that exercise, a little bit of resistance, you get more muscle, that's going to boost your metabolism as well. So sample meal plan of how that looks of breakfast, lunch, or breakfast snack, lunch snack, meal snack, or dinner snack. I cannot say that. I think you guys get the point. So some of our shake recipes that we do, super yummy. We have shakes like every morning. My 6-year-old son, it's just not a good day unless he gets a shake. So we all have shakes and they're tasty and we love them. So this is sample exercise plan, tools and resources. So other things that we have available as a group is we do a nutrition to the max. Generally, sometimes we get them up here, but generally our nutrition to the max is down in our office in Roseville. And like last week, I was speaking on Lyme. So Lyme is a huge, huge, huge problem. May happen to also be, National Lyme Month or whatever, because the ticks are definitely out, and that's something that's on people's minds. And now is the time of year that you're running into that. So, anyways, I can get you if you're something interested in that. We do have that was recorded, and I can get you the link on that if you want. But we have support phone calls Monday nights, 9 o'clock. So if you have some questions, and so you'll have experts on the phone that can answer questions and help you get through something that you're struggling with. We also have, like I said, a Facebook group, so that you have that availability as well, and a few more question answer things. So common questions that I probably covered, but it might not be something that I covered. So, being part of the system, the easy way to get into the system is doing a Feel Good Challenge Pack every month. So we have multiple different Feel Good Challenge Packs. Gus, you brought copies of that, right? Yep, so we'll pass those out here shortly so you can see. With the Feel Good Challenge Pack, it gives you a base neutralizer with some other stuff. And so depending on what your goals are, depends on what pack would be the best for you. And we have smaller packs, we have bigger packs. And doing our Feel Good Challenge Pack every month, that allows you to be on the Facebook group and have the support so that you can get your questions answered. People like me, we have Becca Swanson, who is a professional bodybuilder, and she's another one that's on there. We have other people that have near doctorate degrees of being able to ask, having the knowledge in the nutrition and the exercise that can help. That also allows you to get free products. Who likes free products? So doing a Feel Good Challenge Pack 5 months in a row, so one Feel Good Challenge Pack 5 months in a row, and 6 months is free. So we always like free. Free product always tastes better. I don't know what it is. It's just yummy.
20% off?
Huh?
That's 20% off.
It's 20% off. It is 20% off.
Oh.
So, right, exactly. And, that basically brings it to, wholesale prices. So, but the other thing that we do have is, as a coach, you can win free product as well. And we're looking for more coaches. And you don't have to stand up in front of the room like me and be a teacher. But, if you like helping people and you find that health and nutrition is one of your goals as well, certainly talk to one of us and we'll let you know what it takes to be a coach and how you can do that too and get through that way. And help our people. So that's my passion, I just want to help people. Any questions? All right, well, that's pretty much all I have. So we'll pass out what the Feel Good Challenge Packs are and we'll, discuss any questions that you might have after looking at that or whatever.